So we have this particular episode of Bkchat that aired last week that discusses stereotypes and minorities, and it seems that there, is friction between some of the cast members and things get very heated in the kitchen as usual. Hey guys, it's Murad Murali. Hope you guys are doing well today. If you haven't already, click that button for daily and consistent content. Just click that button and subscribe. Also subscribe to my podcast, rate and review it. I would appreciate it. And let's get into this video. Now, apologies for not being able to review this particular Bkchat episode on a timely schedule. I obviously was very busy last week at the time. Also was abroad, as well as with my podcast, 24/7 daily podcast episodes, and Love Island, how that swallows everything up. Just so much is going on alongside the Caroline Flack situation. I'm pretty sure we've all just been really busy, and I feel like Bkchat should honestly have taken a break. I don't understand why they're airing all their episodes out now. They should have really paused during Winter Love Island. Yes, Winter Love Island isn't really banging as much, but neither is Bkchat, which I'm sure we can all agree on. And I genuinely feel like they should have really aired their episodes, just in the beginning of March. And that's when they should have just carried it through properly for that entire month. That's when Love Island would have ended. There would have been no conflicting schedules, because I feel like this particular episode didn't even reach 200,000 views, if I'm correct. And I feel like normally they would at least get 500,000, so there seems to be a drop. And they also are, putting a lot of different shows. I don't know if you realize this, but they're putting so many different teasers of different shows and programs that they're coming out with, and different Q&As, which I feel like is cute. Explore your ways, explore your pathways and avenues, but please don't give us too many teasers for too many different types of projects they're going on to. Don't focus on way too many projects simultaneously, because you're going to confuse us as an audience, and we're going to just be baffled at what the hell's going on, because I don't know what Chiyoma's doing in this new particular program where somebody's proposing to her in a kitchen, and I don't understand what this is about.
Like, me here for that, bruv.
The love of my life, guys.
Basis that man ain't a dickhead. Nod your head.
Doesn't even like her like that.
I'm telling you, bruv. It's like a prison sentence, fam. Jada.
Oh my brother.
She had it coming.
It doesn't make any sense. Then we got another cooking show, then we got this, then we got that, then we got Q&A going on, then we just have so much going on. Focus on at least 3 different projects. Please don't focus on more than 5, because it genuinely confuses us, and I feel like you need to just stick to what works at the same time as well. I wanted to just get that out there, because as we all know, there would people that produce Bkchat obviously do watch the channel, so hopefully they can take from this advice. Let me know what your thoughts are on that particular situation that I spoke about as well. But anyways, let's put that to the side and focus on this episode. So I feel like this particular topic was interesting, definitely better than the last topic that we had the week before. And I feel like if you have good conversations, then naturally you will get your views, because people will gravitate towards a interesting conversation. But at the same time, you need to also have people there who can handle and have these type of conversations. And I feel like yet again there was no Reva, and I don't understand why this keeps taking place. We need Reva for these conversations, because I feel like she is able to handle stuff, not people like Mark, who doesn't even understand what the word microaggression means. I feel like I don't understand how you become so bamboozled by words like this. I feel like to a point it can be quite funny here and there. Bkchat used to make laughs over certain long words that Gogo used to use, but another point it's also like, come on now, we're all adults. You should be able to have a proper conversations and know extended terminology.
I don't give a fuck what you think about me, about what I do, how I live. If I buy something or I do something, it's for my own personal happiness.
Can I put some Gary on top? Why you got a beard on? Why you got all of these? Why are you wearing the latest crepes? Like, come on, you care about what people look at you as. Nah, like, you don't catch shit.
If you don't, then it obviously is quite worrying. But set aside from that, I feel like we also had a very good anecdotal points from people. I feel like Lani's point really struck with me, this educational standpoint of racism that she felt as a minority within a particular institution. And this particular point I feel like was really interesting.
Because in order to do certain courses, you have to get straight A's or you have to get straight B's. And when they're capping you at a C, you can't get that. And they did that a lot in my school, and I saw it. And I saw that was just bait racism. You look at a black girl and you just assume she's thick because she's dark-skinned, she's African, and she lives in Edmonton.
Cap you, how they feel like you can't get any better than XYZ, no matter how hard you try, no matter how hard you are as an individual. There are points where they would cap you, and she felt as a black girl that history teachers didn't think that she had the mental intelligent capacity to reach a point of such achievement, so they would cap her and say you can't talk about XYZ. And he would notice this would take place with all the students, not that look very similar to Lani, and how she struggled from that point. They would lower her grade, she wouldn't be able to get higher than this. Now another perspective could be that perhaps she just was not good enough. perhaps she wasn't good enough, but again, she got straight A's in the GCSE, so why wouldn't she be good enough? So you have different perspectives here that I want to just put out, but that particular educational standpoint racism, I feel like is actually very rife and very hidden, very easily hidden, and I feel like it is a massive issue at hand here. And of course, why wouldn't educational racism exist if institutional racism exists? It doesn't make any sense. They both of them interweave with each other. But I feel like, you know, Esther also made a point. She's also talking about Georgia from Love Island, not Georgia Steele, the one before that, referring to how she immediately thought that she was aggressive when she was stating opinions and stating points because of how she looked and the fact that she's a black woman and this is what she struggled and gone through. And I feel like, yes, we all know that that is a unfortunate stereotype that black women do undergo, or black men as well, especially black women, that when they make their points, they are immediately seen as aggressive, standoffish, a bit too much, a threat, OTT. That is definitely very valid. But at the same time, I do feel like Esther is an individual on the show who is aggressive. Set aside from her race and agenda, we've seen how she has popped off on Nunu to the point where she is literally about to fight her down. And it seems like Nunu really hasn't displayed any of that behavior. Neither has anybody else, I feel. But to an extent, I also feel that Esther is passionate, and that can be misinterpreted as aggressive because of her race and her gender. So I feel like, you know, there are some valid points in what she is saying, definitely. But also, if you look at it from a different perspective, I do also feel like she is an aggressive individual just because of how she acts and how she speaks to people. When people don't get a point, she gets pissed off or irritated, or if someone cusses her, she will just do a madness and walk off or shout and scream. So I feel like, you know, there are points in what she's made, but also look at different perspectives as well. And I feel like, you know, a lot of them were finding it very hard to understand Gogo, and I don't understand why. A lot of them were really finding it hard to just really listen to what his points, and, you know, about this notion of responsibility and how you shouldn't really be responsible for what people think. You should care about what people think to an extent, to a very less extent, but you also shouldn't care about what people think, because it's not your responsibility if they have these negative stereotypes that are induced by a white supremacy archetype world that we are living in. And I feel like, you know, yes, everybody is conditioned to certain societal flaws, but at the same time, it's not your responsibility if somebody else is acting stereotypes upon you as an individual, and you don't have the responsibility and you don't need to change them. It's not your job. It's not your job description. Unless you're being paid to do so, you don't have to sit there and say and lecture people for XYZ reasons and then do it again and again and again and again. Now, I have been self-employed from the day I graduate from university, so I cannot speak for office space racism settings to an extent. I personally cannot, because I haven't really experienced that to a whole new level, number one. Number two, I can't speak for black experiences that take place in office settings or any settings, period, because I am not black either. So that's what I feel like I have to put out in this video, because you cannot speak for experiences and you cannot dictate experiences. You cannot, you know, conclude experiences that people feel if you are somebody who does not experience it. I feel like it's just point blank common sense at this point. So I really can't go into the deep, you know, reflection of pandering and so forth that Gogo was expressing for how you feel that some people would ignore him, then outside of the offices they'd be, you know, hollering at him and talking to him and everything. And there's this, you know, you can't blame them because they obviously want to look after the job, but at the same time you also kind of can. This is what he was going off on, and just really talking about how it really isn't seen as a responsibility of you yourself as an individual. And I feel like Gogo was the main one here, was really making sense, and I feel like this is a reoccurring pattern and theme where I feel like she just constantly he constantly is. But I don't know what was going on also, because these lot were sweating buckets. I don't understand. It made me feel very uncomfortable
because I don't want to be seen to Mark, not to the white guy, as like I'm coming at him in an aggressive manner, because that's not what I'm trying to achieve. So if you're doing that anyway, and people are still judging you for your character, then it's not your responsibility to go further.
Watch. Why is it so hot in this kitchen? I don't understand. Can you open a window, please? Can you open a door? Get a fan in there or two? AC? Like, I don't understand why everybody is sweating so much, dripping in this particular situation. I feel like I've never really seen them drip this much. I've never seen them sweat this much in my life in previous episodes, so I don't understand why they suddenly were here, but it was just very uncomfortable to watch within itself. Wale, I feel like, is just talking for air, talking for oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide. My guy is just talking. Yet again, he really isn't making that much sense. He doesn't really listen as well to points, but you can tell that, you know, Esther was irritated by that as well. She was like, you're not listening to what I'm saying, you're not listening to what we are saying. And I just feel like I wish Riva was there overall, because she just has better points. She just clarifies things, she concludes moods things and from a clearer perspective with such crystal clear clarity. And because she wasn't there, I find it irritating. I think she is in tonight's episode. In the teaser she is, so you know, I will try to get my review out for that episode tonight or tomorrow, because I feel like, you know, I need to catch up with these episodes. I haven't really been watching most of them, to be honest with you. I just really haven't. But let me know your thoughts are when it comes to this review, and let me know your thoughts are when it comes to this particular episode. I expected Catherine to speak a little bit more because I feel like she does have some logical kind of clearance, but at the same time she really wasn't speaking as much. But she was expressing this whole mixed race situation of, you know, am I black, am I white, what am I, who am I, what am I, what race am I part of? And this kind of ambiguous kind of confusion that people have when it comes to their identity, which I feel like is also a very good conversation, and they could turn that into a whole debate as well, because I feel like that in itself is a great thing to discuss. Let me know your thoughts are when it comes to this video. Let me know your thoughts are when it comes to this Bkchat review. Did you guys like what I said? Did you guys agree, disagree? Comment down below. Subscribe. Please click that button and subscribe to my channel. Hit me up on my Instagram, Murad_Morali, and definitely please subscribe to my podcast. Rate and review, and I'll catch you guys soon for another video.